Good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel. Today start Salesforce developers technical interview questions, and company name is LTIMindtree. Requirement Salesforce developers. So helpful the questions. Crack the interview. Start the video. First question: discuss the use of the custom metadata type in Salesforce and their benefit. Custom metadata type in Salesforce allow developers to create a custom configuration that can be deployed across different the Salesforce environment. Unlike the custom setting, they are the metadata, not data, meaning they are part of the application in structures. These features is beneficial for creating configurable app because that configurations can be the deploy with the app, eliminating the needs to recreate setting in each environment. Next question: how do you how would you implement dynamic search functionality in Salesforce Visual Force page? The implement the dynamic search in the Visual Force page, I would use the combination of the Apex controllers and Ajax. The Ajax controller would be contain the methods to be handled to the search logic querying query the database based on users input. Ajax can be used to the refresh the search result dynamically without the reloading the entire page, enhancing the user's experience. Describe methods to the optimize the Salesforce SQL query for the large data set. To optimize the SQL queries for the large data set, I use selective the queries that is include the indexing the fields in the where clause. This is minimize the query cost and improve the performance. Also the avoid the using the non-selective queries on the large object. Ensure that his query returns only the necessary fields within the limit and offset can also the help manage large data set more effectively. Next questions: explain the concept of the context variable in the Salesforce triggers. Context variable in Salesforce, the triggers are special the variable that is provide the information about the triggers executions context. For example, triggers new contains the records being the insert or updated will be triggers and old hold the old records value in update and deletes operation. They are the also balloon variable like the triggers and insert or triggers in update that indicate the type of DML operation is using the triggers to the fire. Next question: can you the details the purpose of the using the batch apex for large data processing? Batch apex is ideal for the processing large data set as a divides the data into smaller batches and process each batch externally. The process evaluate three main methods: start, execute, and finish. The start methods select the records to be processed, execute, and process each batch, and finish the perform and final the operation post processing like sending the notification. This is structure help in managing the governor limits and effectivity. Next questions: how do you implement errors handling in Apex? In Apex, errors handling to the manage using try catch block. I encapsulate the codes that is might throw an expectation in the try block and handle the expectation in the catch block. This is ensure that the application can be gracefully manage unexpected issue without the dis- disporting the user's experience. Additionally, I often use custom logic to records expectation to the letter of the analyst. Next question: explain how you would use a Salesforce Lightning the components to the improve the user interface and designing. Salesforce Lightning the components enables the creating of responsive and dynamic the user interface. I will use the components to the build custom UI and element that are both visual applying and functional. Utilize the Lightning designing system ensure consistency with the Salesforce native look and feel. Additionally, I would leverage client sides controls in the JavaScript for the dynamic users interactions. Next question, describe a strategy to manage Salesforce data security at a feeds level. Feeds level security in the Salesforce is managed by the setting the permission on individuals feeds for the different profile. Permission set my strategy would evaluate the carefully analyze user the roles and responsibility to determine to the appropriate level of the access each role requires. This ensure sensitive data is only accessible to authorize user the maintaining the data integrity and compliance with the data protection the policies. Next question, how can you use Salesforce change set of the deployment? What are the limitations? Change set of the Salesforce are used to deployment and metadata change from on the Salesforce org. On others, they are particular the useful for the moving the change from the sandbox to the production environment. However, they have a limitation such as a inability to deploy certain the metadata type of the requirement that is the source and target org must be directly connected. For example, that deployment for a complex the deployment, I would consider using the Salesforce BX third party CI/CD tools and more the flexibility. Next question: how would you ensure text class and coverage for the dynamic apex code? Ensuring the text class and coverage the dynamic apex code invalidate the writing text method that is account the virus path and outcome your the dynamic codes can execute. This include compress the text data, mocking the external calls, text multiply scenario, and fourth, assert. Next question, explain how you optimize the performance of the Salesforce Lightning components. Optimize the performance in Salesforce Lightning components invalidate the server-based practice. First, efficient data handling. Second, coaching strategy. Third, lazy loading. Fourth, minimize the binding. And five, optimize the rendering. First, efficient data handling. Use server the data paginations and only load of the data necessary for of the current view of the reduce the load time and research the consume patience. Second, catching the strategy, leverage client side the coaching, catching to store the frequently access data, minimize unnecessary server the run around the trips. Third, lazy loading. Implement lazy loading for compounds that are not immediately visible needed, ensuring that is a resource are used efficiently and the initial load time in minimize. Fourth, minimize the binding reduce of the use and but data the binding to minimize the performance impact of change detection in the complex the compounds. Next, optimize the rendering. Use the lightning the compounds frameworks rendering the life cycles hook to the update only specific the part of the compounds when data starts change rather than re-rendering the entire the compounds. Next question, discuss the role of the process builders in automating the business process in the Salesforce. Process builders in Salesforce is powerful tools automating the business process. It's allow the creation of the complex workflow visual that the writing the codes process can be the triggers based on the specific criteria and can be the execute and variety of actions like creating the records, sending the emails, and calling the apex classes. It is a but particularly useful for the streamline operation and the ensuring the business rules are the consistency applied across the Salesforce origin. Next question, how do you leverage the Salesforce metadata API for the dynamic customizations? The Salesforce metadata API can be the utilized for the dynamic customization by the programmatically retrieving the deployment, creating the updating and building the customization information such as the custom object definitions and page layout directly from the Salesforce ORG. This is particularly useful for the deploying the tools that is automated the setup Salesforce environment of manage deployment access multiple ORG in the Apex and would use metadata API calls to perform an operations like the adding a new custom fields to the and exiting the custom object, ensuring the application dynamic adapt to changing the business requirement. Thank you friends, very important video. Please like my channel, subscribe and share and comment. Thank you so much. Bye bye friends.